It's time now for the PHL 11 o'clock news for this Wednesday night, December 10th, 2014. Good evening, everybody. I'm Peter Wiggins here. 11 o'clock news at 9 there. In our top story at 11 o'clock here is in Washington, where just 6 days after the September 11, 2001 attack, President Bush signed a secret order that gave Central Intelligence Agency power to capture and imprison terrorists with Al Qaeda. As CIA first planned jails abided by U.S. standards. Surveillance videos that shows a woman at a convenience store gas station less than 2 hours before she was set on fire and left to die is part of a puzzle of 40 days we're trying to piece together Wednesday at about the last hours of the 19-year-old's life. In Tokyo, Asian stocks fell on Thursday as fallen oil prices continued to feed into global growth concerns while the dollar struggled against fears as a yen and euro after a further drop in the U.S. Whether or not calm will prevail following the Pennsylvania minister's death depends on the larger whether Israeli and Palestinians continue to coordinate with their security efforts in the West Bank. Oregon's Marcus Mariota posted for a photo with Mickey Mouse during the NCAA College Football Awards press conference at Disney's Boardwalk Conference Center. Hong Kong in the 40s started on Thursday that clearing the ban of the main pro-democracy protest site that has choked roads into the city's most economically and politically important district for more than 2 months as a part of the campaign. Pretoria, South Africa's prosecutors on Wednesday won their bid appeal to the culpable homicide verdict and done to athlete Oscar Pistorius for killing his girlfriend Reva Steenkamp and will now seek a murder conviction. Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker said he doesn't remember sending a letter reading Molotov River, then mistletoe but stated without a minute typo. LA man charged with killing ex-lover's pet rabbit. The story of a boater who had been lost at sea for nearly 2 weeks has come to an happy end. Ron Ingram, 67, in his 25-foot sailing vessel, mentally back on Island, Molokai, in Hawaii on Wednesday morning. One of the women accusing Bill Cosby of sexual assault has filed a defamation lawsuit in Springfield, Massachusetts federal court. Tamara Green allegedly said that Cosby publicly branded her a liar from statements by his lawyer and publicist. The Boston Bruins will have new home ice for practice in 2016 as the team broke ground on a new facility to be built in the Austin Martin neighborhood. Fire officials said improper disposal of smoke materials was the cause of the house fire in Waltham that killed a 53-year-old Philip Muskowski that lived there. Harvard Business School professors apologized for an email rent of $4 overcharged at a Chinese restaurant. Stocks stumbled Wednesday in the market's worst day since early October as a gloomy prediction for its global oil demand sent crude prices plunged again as the down 268. The Bank of Korea kept its benchmark rate unchanged for a second month up to negate the impact of recent cuts of an economy that faces headwinds from a weak Japanese yen. The president and chief executive of Walgreens, Gregory D. Watson, will retire after the company completes its acquisition of British pharmacy chain Alliance Boots. When Norwest Venture Partners and Canadian Partners are invested in London Club 7 years ago, the online leader was little more than Facebook app with big ambitions. Instagram has now more than 300 million monthly active users worldwide, a 50% increase in the last 9 months, which makes it bigger than Twitter. In late hours, Twitter that the Pirate Bay abruptly disappeared from the internet, the result of a surprise raid on the site serviced by the Swedish police in Stockholm. If you drop your Diet Coke in your lap and ran in the nearest 4K PC or 5K iMac when you heard Amazon delivering Ultra HD instant video to its Prime subscribers in North. In Santa Clara, California, the Reverend Jesse Jackson spent the better part of this year by employing high-tech companies to include more African Americans, Latinos, and women among their employees. Dave Letterman has given all us a remarkable legacy of achievement and created brilliance that will never be forgotten, said Leslie Moonves, president and CEO of CBS Corporation, as date set for David Letterman's last late show will be May 20th, 2015. It is that time of the year as temperatures are plunging and snow and ice are falling across much to the country, but in Hollywood, things are heating up the annual parade of award shows, which start early next year with the Golden Globes on January 11th. Bill Cosby faced a defamation lawsuit from San Diego accuser. The plastic has broken aluminum more than 5 million to 5 trillion pieces, said the study published Wednesday in the Scientific Journal Plus One essay. Paper is the latest in a field in which scientists are trying to better understand how much of the synthetic material is. After a 10-year journey throughout the solar system and epic rendezvous with a speeding comet and the drama of a Phillies triple landed the science face of the Rosetta mission has officially begun. 2/3 of women who have been programmed for breast cancer are receiving a radiation treatment that lasts nearly as 2 times long as new study reports. Poor semen production at interfere with a couple's ability to conceive, but new research from Stanford suggests also that may be connected with a variety of health problems related to fertility, including high blood pressure and other harbingers of heart disease. Take a look at New England's alerts here at 11:05. A 17-year-old from Suffield, Connecticut was hit and killed by a vehicle on Wednesday evening, police confirmed. In Brockton, Massachusetts, every fire from a floor of a residential dwelling on 527th Street at work and fire ordered. Yarmouth, Massachusetts, motor vehicle accident car in a building no beyond Route 20 and Seaview Avenue as police department, fire department, and scene called for the building inspector. And in North Trinidad, New York, it's 149. Setting Hatchville, the motor vehicle accident car over the embankment. Here, Peter Channel News Times now 11:06. Here, time after traffic reported that smooth sailing now ways and byways in New England there. And we got a Cambridge at multiple vehicle accident Memorial Drive eastbound on BU Bridge. Boston Road crew on Server Drive eastbound on Longfellow Bridge, as reported by Ed and Hingham, an accident on Route 3 southbound before exit 15 Derby Street. Sole traffic from exit 16 Route 18 Weymouth. And we got a Duxbury accident on Route 3 southbound before exit 10 Route 3A. And in Norton, an accident on 495 northbound before exit 10, which is Route 123. Here. And an accident on Route 495 northbound and exit 20 111 of Roxburgh. And Worcester accident on 190 southbound on Route 290 here. But otherwise, I see a smooth sailing commuter on this late Wednesday night here at Mass Pike on both sides from West Stockbridge all the way down to the wreck shares here, also due to the snow here. And it stretches all the way down to the New York border here and in Castleton, that's an accident. West Lane, Buckland, I-90 westbound and US 920 exit 11. Some of the lanes that area around Albany area here. Peter Channel News Times 11:07 here. It's time now for our weather report here. Our current editions in 11 o'clock in North Massachusetts, 39 degrees. That temperature, light rain, fog and mist. Humidity 96%. Wind speed is calm. Barometer 20 to 44 inches. Super about 3 degrees and visibility of 6 miles an hour here. Current conditions in the region here. It's 37 degrees at temperature right now here in Boston. 37 out in Pittsburgh. 36 in Bedford. 38 in Beverly. 41 in Gloucester. 33 in Worcester. 33 in Sturbridge. 36 in Webster. 38 in Milford. And in Norwood, 40 in Taunton and New Bedford, 45 in Plymouth, 45 in Provincetown, 41 in Falmouth, 42 in Chatham, 40 in Martha's 43 in Nantucket, 45 in Cape Cod Bay, 37 in Block Island, 36 in Westlake, 38 in Providence, 36 in Smithfield, that's 35 in New York, 32 in Islip, 37 in Montauk, 35 in Long Island Sound, 34 in Bridgeport, 36 in Haven, it's 31 in Danbury, 30 in Waterbury, 34 in Meriden, it's 34 in Hartford, 35 in Zerlocks, Connecticut, 34 in Springfield, 32 in Amherst, 35 in Greenfield, 35 out in Ethel, 27 in Pittsfield, 30 in North Adams, that's 30 in Albany, New York, 31 in Saratoga Springs, 30 in Bennington and Bradbury, Vermont, 28 in Rutland, Vermont, 34 in Keene, Hampshire, 33 in Javin, Hampshire, 37 in Nashville, Hampshire, 36 in Manchester, Hampshire, 34 in Concord, Hampshire, 37 in Local, Hampshire, and 38 in Portsmouth, Hampshire, and 38 up in Portland, Maine. Here. Okay, take a look at the map situation around the country. Here. Cold front stretching up the North Carolina coast and stretching up the Pacific coast and then the warm front up to British Columbia. Here. Good up for the ride. Then the California coastline here. For the ride from eastern Mexico stretching out southeastern Colorado. Here. Cold front stretch to the western Texas, western Oklahoma, down for western Kansas. A warm front from western Nebraska down for western Dakotas. And a warm station from southeastern Saskatchewan up to Manitoba here. A pink front stretching off the main coastline here. Warm front down for the Nova Scotia. And a cold front down off the Nova Scotia coastline. We got a low pressure in southern Maine. While we have some high pressure in the Yellowstone Valley, western Colorado, eastern Arkansas, and southwest Wisconsin, and northeastern Ontario here. 26 degrees out temperature right now in Detroit, 29 in Pittsburgh, 41 in Washington, D.C., 38 out in Atlanta, Georgia, 54 in Miami, 66 in Brownsville, Texas, 53 in Dallas, Texas, 33 in Kansas City and Omaha, Nebraska. 31 in Chicago, Illinois. 28 in Minneapolis, St. Paul. 54 in Great Falls, Montana. 54 in Seattle. 63 in San Francisco. 62 in Los Angeles. 58 in Las Vegas. 38 in Salt Lake City. 41 in Denver. 66 in Phoenix, Arizona. 47 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Here. Take a look at the map situation shows rain showers around the greater Boston area. Light to moderate bands rain around Acton around West further around Billerica, Andover, Lower Lawrence here. While we've seen some snow showers around Metro West Boston from Wayland, down for Natick, Framingham, down for Halston, Milford, down for Franklin and Uxbridge, and stretch it up in the northeast and down around Woonsocket and Manville, Smithfield, and Pawtucket and Greenville, and stretch it around South Attleboro, and rain, sleet, or snow around Dayton, Somerset, and rain showers stretch from Somerset, Dayton, Danfu, Lakeville, and the Middleborough area, and rain showers near Fall River and northeastern Rhode Island there, around Tiverton and Little Compton. Snow showers around northeastern Portland and Connecticut, and some snow showers around Worcester, Holden, Paxton, and we've seen some snow showers around Acton here. Snow showers around Nashua, and on Montgomery and Derry and Chester and up in New Hampshire here. And we're seeing some light to moderate and heavy bands rain around Northern Maine, around New Brunswick, around western and eastern and central portions of Nova Scotia, and some sleet showers in eastern portions of Quebec and up in the northern New Brunswick here. Sleeted and raining around western portions of Prince Edward Island there, and rain and sleet around southeastern portions of Prince Edward Island around Newfoundland there. Snow showers in central and western portions of New York State, down for eastern portions of Pennsylvania, and a line of snow showers around eastern portions of Ontario, down for southwestern portions of Quebec here, and some snow showers around northeastern portions of Ontario here. Snow showers in northern Maryland and in northern Delaware here. And we're seeing some rain showers around southern Missouri, around for southeastern Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma, down for northwestern Arkansas here. And we're seeing some rain showers around south central eastern portions of Texas, around San Antonio here. And this is a stormy pattern here, and rain showers from northern California, stretching in western Oregon, up in the western Washington State, down for southwestern portions of British Columbia. A lot of rain showers from eastern portions of Oregon, up in the Washington State, western Idaho, and rain, sleet, and snow showers in eastern portions of British Columbia, down for rain and sleet around northwestern portions of Alberta, and a line of rain showers in southeastern portions of Alaska here. A look at San Francisco here. And you are going to have a stormy day here. Heavy rain and a hurricane force winds here. So those of you in the Bay Area got to be prepared here. And the San Francisco public schools has been closed for tomorrow. So if you're living in San Francisco, try to stay safe in the storm because it's got heavy rain, flash flooding, winds, and mudslides. So expect to try to take it slow and easy out of this storm as it's raining north of San Francisco around Santa Rosa and around west of Sacramento, and then up in the Redding and up in the Ukiah, Gutterville, and around Chico and around Susanville here. Okay, let's take a look at satellite look here, and it shows a lot of clouds coming in northern New England and some coming around Atlantic Canada and stretching out for western New York and Pennsylvania. Spotty clouds around in western New England there, and batches of clouds covering in much of the Pacific coastline from California, Nevada, stretching up to the northwest, western Montana, and then up to British Columbia, down for Alberta, down for Saskatchewan, down for the western Dakotas here. A lot of clouds around Colorado, and a lot of clouds around covering much of eastern Texas, around Louisiana, down for southern Mississippi, and covering much of Mexico here. A lot of clouds from Forkwood region and stretching on western Kansas here. Okay, take a look at forecast discussion around the region here. We got continued wet and snowing for the northeastern United States and active weather pattern for the west coast and a relatively quiet weather elsewhere. There are two significant weather features throughout the end of the weekend, with the first being the nor'easter being to weaken across New England and New York, and afterwards by 2 to 4 inches of rainfall amounts of New Jersey and Maine on Tuesday, mainly light to moderate precipitation, and is expected to continue throughout Thursday. As upper level low remains nearly stationary overhead, snow will continue from the upstate New York too. Main and winter storm warnings are effective for these areas. Wind gusts of 30 to 50 miles an hour likely for northeast United States. Out west, the strong Pacific storm system is forecast to bring some drought relief to California and Oregon further today. An atmospheric river of moisture, or pineapple expected ahead of this system and is tapping moisture from the tropics. This will lead to a swath of heavy rainfall with about 2 to 4 inches by Thursday night. Significant snowfall could also be expected at the highest mountains of the Sierra Nevada and the northern California mountains, and some of this moisture should make it to the intermittent west in the form of some rain showers and mountain snow showers. Elsewhere across Canada and the United States, the overall weather pattern should be rather uneventful with a high pressure showing ridge over much of the central and eastern United States except for the northeast of the absence of any major Arctic cold air intrusion should keep temperatures closer to normal for this time of the year. Okay, take a look at forecast discussion and region here. Storm center will gradually weaken as it wobbles across northern New England by the end of the week before it moves east of New England this weekend. This will bring periods of light rain and snow showers at times, although most of the time it will be dry. Gradual improving conditions are expected this weekend, especially early next week as high pressure builds in from the west. Low pressure may affect the region by the middle of the next week. Here, near term until 6 a.m. Thursday morning, 10:30 p.m. update. Low becoming second as the sun goes up close and across the northeast cut off from the maritime fault. Attendant cyclonic approach traveling. Warm, moist, high air into the coming head, festering towards the southern low front, becoming stretched and eroded by the influx of drier air. H5 center is situated within just west of the Berkshires where convergence is set within the low levels of its lenses to its descent. Snow bend in discern from WSR AAT radar. Expected center for the country near wobbling northwest as dry air is drawn into the center from the southeast known in the latest satellite, which is observing some clearing across the waters and Cape. A bit of indication can be seen from the 0 China standard parts at 0.4600 in inches. The bulk of heaviest precipitation is winding down wherever low-level convergence can maximize beneath the cyclonic fault of the low will result in modest precipitation as is the case around central Massachusetts and Northern Ireland. We'll keep the winter weather advisory going in the morning as it rains. The possibility of energy still as mentioned earlier and slope along the eastern slopes of higher terrain, resulting in additional snowfall around an inch. Also, with a push of colder air east of the surface and expected rains, the transition of snow gradually west to east. Otherwise, another concern, northwest surface flow is vectoring sub-freezing temperatures across west central portions of southern New England here. As we go into Thursday morning commute with residual moisture main. Freeze along untreated area roadways result in slick traffic conditions, coldest temperatures below 30 degrees northwest of the 495-95 corridor. Drivers should be aware of the diverse conditions and exercise as caution in the morning here. And we got a flood warning here. It's canceled for the following rivers in Massachusetts. Aspen River Maynard affected Middlesex and Worcester counties. The flood warning continues for the following rivers in Massachusetts. Shawshane River near Wilmington affected Essex and Middlesex counties. Very minor flooding is forecast along the Shawshane River as a result of heavy rainfall on Monday. As precautionary preparedness actions, safety message of flood statement providing the latest information in this flood event will be issued within the next 8 hours. Right, if needed, the safety measures do not allow children playing near swollen rivers, streams, or culverts, and swiftly moving water can pose an immediate threat to life. And the flood warning is canceled for the Aspen River at Maynard at 6:15 p.m. Wednesday. The stage was 4.4 feet. Flood stage is 5.0 feet, and forecast the river will crest below flood stage with a value of 4.6 feet tomorrow early afternoon, and impact of 5.0 feet, and minor lowland and backyard flooding is likely along reaches of the river in Maynard, Concord as well as Hudson. Several rivers, woods, and may also become covered in water. Here. And a real flood warning remains in effect until 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday for West Central Plymouth County at 2:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Minor flooding was observed near the Purchase Brook in Middlebury. The road on the other end of Walski Park is expected to become impassable by this evening at the water level. Rising further, the Taunton River, which feeds Purchase Brook, is forecast to crest near the Bridgewater just after midnight on Tuesday night. Purchase Brook should be in minor flood until Friday morning. Precautionary sections. People near Purchase Brook should continue to monitor water levels. The event said local officials have asked to evacuate the area. Won't be any posted road closures here. And today's highs, we will see 40 degrees for Portland, Maine. 38 for Boston, 35 for Worcester, 36 for Hartford, 37 in New York City, 34 in Albany, New York, 33 in Rutland, Vermont, and 37 in Congress Road. Temperatures, widespread temperatures in the 30s. A few spots could see the 40-degree mark here. Okay, let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. Goes like this. Overnight, while you're sleeping in overnight hours of tonight, we're going to have a slight chance of rain before 3 a.m., then a slight chance of rain and snow patch before midnight. Then patch between 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. and otherwise, cloudy with a low around 32 degrees in southwest, wind about 3 to 7 miles per just based 20%. Thursday, a chance of rain and snow mainly between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Clouds with a high around 38 degrees and southwest, wind about 8 to 10 miles per chance precipitation is 30% and a little no inclination expected. For that, a slight chance of snow showers. Clouds got lower than 20 degrees in southwest, wind about 3 to 7 miles per chance precipitation 20%. Friday, a slight chance of snow showers before 9 a.m. and a slight chance of rain showers after 3 p.m. Most of the clouds got a high around 39 degrees and west, wind about 3 to 6 miles per chance precipitation 20%. For that, slight chance of snow showers aboard sleet clouds got lower than 20 degrees and northwest, wind about 6 miles per chance of precipitation 20%. Northwest, wind about 6 miles per Friday night. For Saturday, a slight chance of snow showers between 8 a.m. and noon, and a slight chance of rain showers afternoon. Most of the clouds got a high around 40 degrees and precipitation 20%. Saturday night, most of the clouds got a low about 29 degrees. Sunday, most of the same podcast got about 42, low about 29 degrees. Monday, most of the same podcast got high about 44, low about 30 degrees. Tuesday, most of the clouds got high about 44, low about 32 degrees. And from Wednesday, a chance of rain and snow showers. Most of the clouds got high about 41, and precipitation is 30%. Predators, what a phrase of the night! Slight chances of rain and snow tomorrow. P1 saying about good night with a good positive to be. See you tomorrow morning with a morning report. Good night, and come on in.